Thank you for watching this Last Mile Profits video.
How to make lockers idiot-proof, and is it really needed? If this is your thing, take a look at the latest Last Mile Profits video. Experience the future of convenience with modern Expo parcel lockers. Cutting-edge innovations that bring parcel delivery to a fundamentally new level. Follow the link in the description to find the best solution for your business. Gary, sometimes people do silly things with lockers. Recently, our producer read an article where apparently somebody, and I'm not sure if it was a prank or intentionally, but managed to get a child locked in a parcel locker. To make it even better, they didn't have the code to access the cell, and they had to get the fire brigade apparently to rip it apart. But I know that there are things that are done to avoid this, like having, those big cells at the top of a locker. What's your experience of it? First of all, have you heard of this happening at any scale? And, what is being done to avoid it?
Stupidity I'm aware of on a global and colossal scale. But when it narrows the field down to parcel lockers, I think it's a much smaller problem. It is something that, speaking on behalf of Quadient, that we're very, very aware of. We have launched some sort of very supersized lockers in the States. We've got this huge deal with Lowe's. And the way we designed the locker for Lowe's is they literally walked around the store and found the biggest box they had on the shelf. And we measured it and we made a locker that would fit that box. I can't remember if it was a petrol lawnmower or some sort of barbecue for the obese. I can't remember. It was one or the other. This enormous box. But you do end up with a compartment that would fit a fairly decent sized child in. So all of those compartments, anything where you could feasibly fit a human being inside, have got an emergency latch built on into the inside of the lock. So it's if the door's open, it's useless to you. If the door's shut, it's right there for you to, almost like a dead man's handle, if you like, to be able to open it from the inside and get out. Because you're absolutely right. The air supply is going to be limited. It's going to be very uncomfortable for a lot of people. And you really don't want to trash the locker for the sake of, getting the door open.
Yeah, you're right, actually, because a normal parcel locker, it's easy. You put the bigger cells at the top. But you're right, if you're doing DIY, so Lowe's, Leroy Merlin, that sort of thing, you're going to have big, heavy things. You can't really expect people
No.
who are handling the items to put them at the top cell.
Well, and
So,
also with ADA compliance, you need to have all the cells available at comfort height, so above the knee and below the shoulder. So putting the big ones up the top is almost completely counterproductive. I'm seldom astonished at what people will do they'll find ways to harm themselves. Have you ever looked at the website of the Darwin Awards? This
no,
is what
tell
the
me,
very
but I'm
first.
sure you have, Gary.
Oh, it's one of my favorite things. It's a litany of human tragedy of how people have conspired to, raise the average IQ of the globe by harming themselves in spectacular ways. And I think my favorite was a guy working late in the office one night, not a slim gentleman from the description, from what I can understand. I'm popcorn and kettle black, I understand. He wanted to get himself a Coke. The machine was jammed, reached up inside the Coke machine and managed to pull it onto himself.
Whoops.
And his body was discovered by his workmates when they came into work on Monday morning. So with the most innocuous objects, there is infinite capacity to do tragedy to yourself.
But I think, Gary, that all of the reputable players that I can think of actually do spend time and effort to think about this, to think what the potential risks are. If somebody does something silly or, let's be honest, even stupid, there should be a way to protect against that. And I would imagine that, with the lockers that have power supply, there must be things that protect people against getting an electric shock. With, as you said, with ones where the cell really is accessible and big enough, you have some kind of thing to press or pull to allow you to get out. So I'm sure that a lot of time and effort is spent to watch out for these things. And, Gary, I would be shocked if this happens too often.
But I'm pretty sure it's completely avoidable, and you're right, it's very, very rare. I mean, the other thing is making sure the thing's anchored. If there's an object, somebody will want to climb up it, and if somebody climbs up it, they will find a way to fall off it. So making sure these things are stable, not just for weather. I think we've talked before about tornadoes blowing lockers over and so on. But yeah, there's obviously the opportunity for people to have them fallen or be displaced. But yeah, absolutely. Health and safety is front and center of the design of these things, without doubt.
But I think this is the moment at which, it's important to buy from reputable suppliers, because this is, let's be honest, it's something that can really harm people. if the person does something silly. So therefore, it's probably a good idea not to cheap out on hardware. Make sure that it's got the right safety attest. I don't know if that's what it's called in the UK, but the credentials that you need. It would be really great if people in the comment space below could share their stories if they have any. Stupid, less stupid, amusing. And traditionally, please, if you've enjoyed this video, press the like button and subscribe. Helps us keep these videos free for you.
Thanks, Marek.
Thanks for watching this Last Mile Profits video. For more up-to-date last mile news and analysis, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on LinkedIn.